Welcome to the Take It Home podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at DocSimmons17. I'm joined by the full crew tonight. I'll give the hot tag to my partner, Zach. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand. And if you love Country Air so much, look us up at Country Air Official for Facebook and Instagram. Or if you're on Twitter, Country Air Brand. I'm going to give it to a man who hasn't been here for a while because he's too busy riding.
That'd be myself, Gunner Wicks. You can find me on all social media at Gunner Wicks. Pass it on to my favorite referee.
So guys, I'm Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV # for the Ref Brand and Waffles Take It Home podcast.
Yes, sir. Waffles. Had lots of pancakes this weekend.
Ooh, any in particular? Blueberries, any chocolate chips?
What was it? Cinnamon raisin. But if there's another time when y'all come through Madison, that's definitely it was a new spot we tried. So if y'all come through, should definitely check out that spot. Also had waffles, but just mouth still recovering. Waffles are a little rough. Pancakes are the better option.
Yeah, I hear you there. I've been without waffles for quite some time. Kind of on a drought.
Like the streets need you, Waffles. The streets need you. All right. So all listeners, be sure to like, share, and subscribe this episode of the podcast. You can check out all the episodes. I have a nice little playlist where you can listen to all 1 through, I think this is episode 43. So we're coming up on that 1 year anniversary in a little bit, and special episodes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
I was just at the gym with one of the guys who, like, when we did one of our first podcasts, and I was doing it from my old apartment on the desk with the old work computer. Like, he came in and interrupted, and he was like, "Y'all are still doing that?" And I was like, "Man, it does feel like it feels like it was like just started, but like it's crazy to think we're almost to a year."
Yep, almost to a year, which also means we're also very close to special episode 68 and 69. So I'll probably be dropping some previews and info on that coming up in the next couple weeks as we get closer.
Screw it. How about this? This episode 69, we've been talking about being a big deal. On our 1 year anniversary, I'll make a special announcement about episode 69.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. On the 1 year anniversary, we'll do a special episode or do special announcements about episodes 68 and 69 because they are gonna run. It's a 2-parter, guys.
I'll tell you my special announcement idea after we're done with this, guys. Make sure it's approved.
This announcement is so special, I don't even know what it is.
We've talked about it once. I'm sure you've been drunk since then and forgotten.
Very possible.
But now that we're done with all the introduction tangents, hey Perch, you got a banger of the week for us?
Oh, funny you should ask, Dre, because I certainly do. This week's banger of the week. This one hits me hard every time, especially driving through the God's country that we do. Nice, wonderful fall time atmosphere, windows down, and I had some Sam Cooke blaring in the system this weekend. Smoke Rings by Sam Cooke is one of my favorites of all time, and listening to CDs on top of CDs, and just great music, good relaxing.
Yeah, definitely.
It really sets the mood, sets the tone.
Love the voice.
Mm-hmm. And all about Tranquil.
Yeah, Tranquil.
And it's sad that he passed away, in his early 30s, and to give as much, sentiment that he has and that voice and that music that it's still hitting in 2021 really goes to show he did something great in his time.
Yeah, they say the good die young. I'm old as shit.
But if you guys haven't heard it, give Smoke Rings by Sam Cooke a chance. It's a damn good song.
Yes. And I promise, working on that Spotify playlist. So that'll be up. I'll get that up this week. I'll stop digging around. I'll get that up this week. Awesome. It's great to have the whole gang here. Gunner, you've been gone the longest, so you know we're going to start with you. What have you been watching the past couple weeks?
It's even worse because it's been multiple weeks now, not just one. But as far as wrestling goes, not a whole lot.
Have you watched anything? I saw the Venom movie.
Yes, I did see the Venom movie, which I'd give it 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought it was
decent.
solid.
It's good. It was not like mind blowing or anything, but it was enjoyable. I'm currently going through a Harry Potter movie marathon for the month of October because it kind of fits the whole Halloween theme, and I haven't seen all the movies. I've seen like the first 2 or 3. That's about it.
Same here, brother.
Yep. And funny thing is, I bought like the 8 film or whatever collection like last year's Black Friday and never opened it until like a week or 2 ago. It wasn't even last year's; it was a year before that.
Like dogs, I'm pretty sure I still have movies from 2008 that I have not opened, so don't feel too bad.
Yeah, that is how bad I am at watching things.
I can be right there with you.
But yeah, otherwise, I obviously see like clips on Instagram and YouTube and stuff of wrestling related things. I like that thing you tagged me in with the mask and the dude with the powder the other day on Twitter. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. That's funny.
I was like, oh, Gunner might need this at some point.
I'm sure I will. But yeah, otherwise, no, I haven't seen a whole lot of wrestling.
All right. Like any documentaries? You are our documentary guy.
I watched a Stone Cold podcast that had Seth Rollins on it.
Oh, I did not watch
the newer one.
Yeah,
very good. I highly recommend. I haven't seen any of the newer Dark Side of the Rings yet from the last like few weeks. There have been new ones, haven't there?
Yeah. There have been new ones. FMW, Canyon, and they just did another one this week. I forgot the guy's name.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to look those up. But yeah, I did watch Crusher Fest this last weekend, but I'm sure Perch will talk about that because he was involved in it. So we'll save that for later. But I was just a fan, just a spectator, and enjoyed that too.
So wait, is that the first show since you debuted as a wrestler that you've had a chance to watch as a fan?
Besides when AEW came to town like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. That's kind of working.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first like live wrestling, indie wrestling show, I guess, that I've just watched as a fan.
How did it feel to have a chance to just be a fan?
Cool. I guess like no feeling of like pressure or the need to perform and do well. Just kind of sit back and relax and watch everyone else do their thing. Got to see my girlfriend Raven wrestle in a banger of a match, which I believe, Perch, did you ref that one?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
All right. I my unbiased opinion, I really enjoyed that match, so I'm excited to hear your take on it. Medusa had a hand in that match, and it's cool to like meet her, and I know she gave Raven a lot of really good advice and help and stuff, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, just sitting back as a fan, enjoying a beer, watching Crusher Fest and everyone else do their thing is fun.
Awesome. Zach, what have you been watching?
I've been still watching some WCW. Really enjoying the cruiserweights. I like a different side of Eddie that who still is great in WWE.
Yeah, but he's a white meat babyface at this point.
Oh yeah, and so entertaining to watch with Eddie. A lot of catching up on AEW Dark, Elevation, but actually, what I'm going to be watching tonight after the podcast, I'm actually going to catch that Game Changer pay-per-view. I've seen the results. Everything looks amazing. nothing but good results. I'm really like super pumped to watch the GCW show with the main event being Moxley versus Cage.
Awesome. Percival, what have you been watching?
And one of the biggest moments last week on AEW was Dante Martin cutting that promo right in the center of the ring.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, the lights go out. Oh, and it's like, holy smokes, what's about to happen? Lights turn on, and the scariest figure imaginable right behind him. And just Liquid Sword's head gone.
Yep, I like that you're calling his
It was
Liquid Sword now. Yes, it is. That's right. Malachi.
Liquid Sword sliced his head right off. Just awesome. A cool moment. And going back to what we even said last week about matchups we're looking forward to, whether it's a matchup or not. I mean, you come out and you fire the opening shot like that. Can only imagine these two are going to meet up down the road, and looking forward to it. So really cool segment and a cool moment on AEW last week.
No, yeah, I definitely love what they're doing with Dante all the time. Really excited for Darius to come back when he does. Super looking forward to that. I believe that's this Saturday, their match.
Oh, hell yeah. Just good people to see. Going back and watching, listening to about what Gunnar was saying with podcasts and stuff. I was listening to stories about Stone Cold in a podcast with Kurt Angle, going back and revisiting kind of the 2001 era with the invasion angle and Stone Cold and Kurt Angle going against each other. And man, just realizing how much I loved it back then and how much those storylines, kept me going and really, lit the passion and continued the passion to loving pro wrestling. So listening to some stories, going back and watching some matches, the main event on Raw that Stone Cold and Kurt Angle ended up having, it's more than a match, because at the time it was life. Going back and watching that, it's what life revolved
Oh, wait,
around.
is this when it's heel Stone Cold and babyface Kurt?
Yep, heel Stone Cold, babyface Kurt Angle.
That was the best part of the heel Stone Cold run, was his feud with Kurt, I feel.
The absolute best. I mean, it was so good. And again, at the time, I didn't know what a heel or a face was, or good guy, bad guy. It was just life. There were some bad guys I liked because they reminded me of people I knew, and some good guys I liked because the same. Growing up 9-10 years old, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, that's one of my favorite feuds of all time, right in that 2001 era. And good hard-hitting action. That promo time when Kurt Angle had Stone Cold on the side of that bridge. Oh my God, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Some of the best promos I remember seeing were right in time too. And Stone Cold in 01. Talk about, you need to find some more motivation to love the business that we're in. Been going back and getting a lot of inspiration.
Awesome. I too watched AEW last week. All good things. Well, I just want to get into it anyway. Finally, I am into the G1 for New Japan. I just finished night 1, and I cannot recommend that show enough. It was awesome. New Japan is really big on long-term storytelling, and like, for better or worse. And I come on here and I know I talk a lot of good things about them. They do have their negatives. You can say that they don't protect their refs. Like, low blows and chair shots don't mean anything. But night 1 is one of those times where, like, all of your complaints about a company come together in like the perfect tornado to just form awesome moments for the whole night. Like night one was such a banger. I don't want to spoil anything because it was so good. Please go watch it. Please go watch night one.
Is that on New Japan World?
Yes, it is. It is the September 18th show.
Sweet. I may have to re-up my subscription.
Yep. Or I'll give you mine after the podcast, whatever.
Much preferred.
Yeah. Like if it's to get you to actually watch some wrestling, Gunner, that's fine.
Thank you. Yeah, it means a lot.
But yeah, I definitely recommend night one a lot. I just started night two. They've got the new crop of young lions in, which I'm super excited about because with the last crop, the only one I had really seen since day one was Gabriel Kidd. And that's through just random internet searches. I just happened to know who he was. This new crop, I don't know anything about them. So it's been very interesting to watch literally their first four matches because I don't think either of these guys actually have any type of pro wrestling background. They're both like collegiate and national champion amateur wrestlers. I think both freestyle. So it's been very interesting, and I'm very excited to see their journey over the next 4 or 5 years, which is a scary thing to think about. Hey, I'll just be watching this for 4 or 5 years for these two guys to see where it's going, but I'm making that commitment. Watching some AEW Dark right now. Super surprised to see FTR versus the team of Lee Moriarty and LSG. Love me some LSG in Ring of Honor. Happy to see him.
Game again in Ring of Honor. What were they called again?
I cannot remember their tag team name. It has been bothering me for a while.
I'm about to look you up while you're talking. Keep going.
But loved LSG. Good to see him in AEW tagging with Lee Moriarty, a guy that we all like, against FTR, a tag team we all like. So it's a good match. Just wrestling is good. There's just so much good wrestling to watch all the time, and I only have so much time. Been watching MLW since my man Cesar Duran, aka Mr. Cueto, Dario Cueto, is in charge of the books over there. I've been enjoying that, and some of the callbacks to guys that he's worked with in Lucha Underground have been pretty fun. I have not seen the Fatu versus Hammerstone match, but I do want to go back and check that.
Oh yeah, that one. Did see that one on Vice TV.
Yeah,
Caught me late night. Flipped it on. Damn good. Worth watching.
I've heard, so I'm real excited about that. This episode, like the episode of, I guess it's their YouTube show is called Fusion now. So it's Fatu versus Matt Cross in the main event. So excited for that one. Love some M-Dog 20. Like I said, just a lot of good wrestling. I still want to watch more Impact, and it's been hard to squeeze that in as well.
Also, his tag team name was Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast, yes. Awesome. Want to watch more ROH? Bouncers and Dixon coming in on the announcers, cutting a promo, had me hyped. Priest Coleman, like trying to buck up to Malonis was fun to watch. So just so much wrestling. Love it. Okay. Now that I'm done praising wrestling for all that it is and will be and can be, Gunner, you want to talk about what you've been doing the past couple weeks?
Sure thing. Let's see, last weekend had off. Actually, I think the last 2 weekends I had off, but before that, wrestled at WF&W, captured the Scrub Championship there in a gauntlet match.
Gunner 2 belts?
Yes, we now have 2 championship belts.
How's it feel?
How's it feel?
Yes.
It's just my gear bag is getting heavier and heavier. I feel like it's adding maybe some slight shoulder definition of me having to lug it around everywhere. So that's how it feels. I'm trying to think.
Belts are cool until you have to carry them around.
Yes, sir. Very true. Trying to think what shows I have been on since I've last been on the podcast.
Like, I don't think we heard your take on the Brew City show match that you had against Mav with Baxter.
Okay. Yep. So me and Mav for the heavyweight title at the last BCW show. The match I thoroughly enjoyed a lot until Bax had to get involved and ruin it for everybody there at the end. But that is I'm sure it's definitely not the last I'm going to see of Mav, because I'll talk about that in the next segment about what we're doing next weekend. But it's going to be feel like Mav and possibly Bax are going to be in my future at BCW for quite some time. But it's always fun to kick both their asses, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, they're very fun to beat up on.
Very fun. Very frail, very easy, very light.
Yeah.
Fun to toss around.
Yeah, they bruise very easily. It's awesome. Always makes me feel good. Zach, let's talk about what we got coming up this week.
Yes, sir. You want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. Friday, we will be at Fourth Wall Wrestling in a 6-man tagging against Rough Crossing, Dysfunction, and Val Malone. And those out-of-town shooters will be joined by none other than Mel. No, this is going to be a hard-hitting match. I'm sorry, Val, I got to kick you in the face, but you've done us wrong a lot of times. I am very happy to get my hands on you in a legal sense. How do you feel about it, Zach?
I'm not sorry I'm going to kick her in the face. Accidents happen. And, I mean, the fact that she cost us those beautiful golden jackets.
Yeah, I would look good in that.
Yeah, we would look good. We have yellow gear to match it, so that's on her. Dysfunction, you don't really get to work on much, so it's gonna be a fun one. And it's always fun beating up Rough Crossing. And with Mel and on our side, I mean, Rough kind of asked for himself to get put in this position.
It's not you. Super excited about it. And it does have the added stipulation: if we don't win, we can't challenge for the jackets as long as Rough has them.
When does the stipulation come in? Like,
I don't know. I'm going to assume the Freaky Friday match started early and this is Aesop's doing.
They blame Aesop.
Let's blame Aesop.
Yeah. But then, after we beat them and secure ourselves to become number one contenders for the Golden Jackets, we'll drive all the way down to Nashville, Tennessee, where we're going to take on them TSF boys at CTW, Coastal Championship Wrestling. Doc, I know I'm excited for it. How are you feeling?
I'm excited for it. Oh God, why are we talking about what we? Oh God, I have been drinking. We're talking about what we're doing this week. We didn't talk about what we did last weekend.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, that's what I was kind of confused on, first of all. But I was just going with it. You called it.
We'll save that one for the end. Why don't we go back and talk about what we did this past weekend, Zach?
Let's talk about what we did past weekend. This weekend was a light weekend for us. Unfortunately, Zella Pro has to reschedule for Turner Hall another date. That announcement will come soon, unless the Illinois show they announced is the makeup date, which I don't think so.
I don't think that's the case.
Tonight, hanging out at the house, chilling. Saturday, we made our way to Lake Station, where we wrestled the Youth Gone Wild brothers.
Yep, and that's the thing. I was me being excited about our match Saturday reminded me about how excited I was for our match this past Saturday. It's always fun to wrestle established tag teams. And this was definitely a real fun one.
Yeah, that was. I thought for our first time working with them, there was a lot of good chemistry. It's fun working actual tag teams who have tag team moves, and like they have weird names too. So we're not the only ones that come up with very odd names for tag moves. So that was nice to hear. And then like
goddamn Mexican hooker.
Yeah, Mexican hooker. That's one of their
Mexican
moves.
hooker. It's a double neck breaker.
It's like a hip toss to catch your legs pop you in the air for like a double neck breaker, and you almost died because you bounced off the ceiling.
Yep. Like those guys are obviously juicing to be throwing such a heavy weight so high.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but you know, I don't think this is our last time meeting Youth Gone Wild in the ring.
Not at all. Not at all. All right, Perch, what did you do this past weekend?
This past weekend was a fun one. Very sentimental as we got things ready for Crusher Fest, which was on Saturday. So Friday night, we went down to South Milwaukee and got the ring set up. Felt great to be back at the Crusher statue, back at the square at South Milwaukee, right by Papa Luigi's 2, where Armani used to run shows. Just, the heart of South Milwaukee and, the stem roots of Crusher country. Without a Crusher, I may not be in the professional wrestling business. He was my parents' favorite when they were kids, and not that they were huge into wrestling, but they certainly loved it when it was on. And hearing stories about the Crusher when I was a kid definitely sparked intrigue at a very young age. So to be able to celebrate the Crusher in Milwaukee is something that's beyond special to be a part of, let alone be involved in. I said, hey, let me just sell beer. Let me be a part of it. Let me be a beer vendor. Let me be any part of it. So, we got
more
to set
Wisconsin than that.
Yeah, exactly. I'll slang beer at the gate. Just let me be a part of the show. So we set up the ring and had a little camp time on Friday night. So was able to feel good going into it on Saturday. So Saturday came, and my God, was it a fun time. Afternoon show. So the show started at about 3:30, and I got there around noon, and the place was bumping. A lot of people in town, a lot of people from the Midwest traveling, meet and greets with legends, and Greg Gagne was there, Medusa, Eric Bischoff, Kenny the Sodbuster was there. So I get in around noon and right away and fill in and start selling beer. I did what I said I was gonna do. I vended beer for a few hours, and it was a great time mixing and mingling with everybody there. The beautiful people of Crusher Fest in South Milwaukee. Got to see a lot of people from throughout the area, different promoters from Illinois and Wisconsin, and a lot of different paths that I've crossed over the past 3 years, the short time that we've been in the business. And it was really fun, just a whirlwind of an event. And then the show started at 3:30, and I certainly did get to referee. I got enough in beer tips where they put me on the show.
Hey, hey, people like this face.
No, and it was wonderful. Myself and Mike Williams were the referees for the night, and got to referee T-Dub against John Hudson. So a few people who I've been refereeing since the early days of myself being there, working with John Hudson at Armani's shows at Papa Luigi's 2 way back when, and working shows with T-Dub at Legacy when we ran shows there. So just great time, great to be with the guys. And the other match I had was Sierra against Raven. Again, Sierra's been there before us, so she's our older sister. to be able to referee a match for her at Crusher Fest, I was beyond ecstatic. Before the match happened, I told the girls, this day is happening way too fast. I'm going to savor every moment of your match. So, you know, I did just that. I enjoyed thoroughly the girls' match, and yeah, they got to have a hand from Medusa, you know, afterwards, and you know, had her input. Was cool to hear. But just an awesome crowd, awesome atmosphere. My dad was there, so he got to see it and experience it. Just as fun as a show gets in South Milwaukee. Couldn't have been, you know, more grateful to have an opportunity to rock Crusher Fest both years now for its second year. And that gave a lot of good motivation going into Sunday, which was Gali Lucha, and had 4 matches last night, luchadors, and really fun. Main event was a title match with Cody Jones defending the title against Gino Medina. At one point, Gino was outside the ring and tried to trip Cody Jones. Unfortunately, Cody jumped and definitely blew out my ankle.
That would happen.
But you know, it's what happens for the brand, for the ref brand, baby.
Yeah.
And at one point towards the end, at one point Gino was about to use a chair on Cody, and literally like gave everything I had last second to grab that chair mid-flight from stopping and preserving the match because it didn't hit him. And it went on and it was decided clean. So great time, fun lucha matches to finish out the weekend. Great Crusher Fest. Fun wrestling all around.
Good. Yep, great weekend.
Could I tell a quick Crusher Fest story?
Yes, you can, brother.
Just because I thought it was kind of funny. So after the show is over, I'm there. Frank hands me a stack of flyers. So as one does, I pay my dues and hand out the flyers to the fans leaving the little tented area where the ring was. And so I hand the flyer to this one dude. And he's like, oh, yeah, flyers are for the next BCW show, by the way. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll be there. And I'm like, okay, good. See you then. Then he points to the guy with the heavyweight belt, which is myself. Now, mind you, some people don't know what I look like without face paint on. So then he starts saying, yeah, I don't know what to quite think of this guy. I don't think he quite deserves the title. He goes on for about 5 minutes, kind of trashing me.
Oh.
And I kind of entertained him. It's just like playing along with him. I was like, yeah, okay, yep, I agree. I agree with your opinion, sir. You are correct. Then he's like, so do you wrestle? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, who are you? So I take my finger, point to myself on the poster. The look of regret in his face was top notch.
Oh my God, that's great.
Followed by like instant, like many apologies, which I appreciated. But yeah, I just thought that was hilarious and probably the highlight of my weekend.
Wow. Did you drop the stack of flyers or throw them up in the air after that moment?
I should have. I should have went full gunner mode on him, started a riot right there at Crusher Fest. But I held my composure together.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love moments like that.
Story right there. Crusher Fest.
Yeah. Nothing like wrestling. Nothing like wrestling. All right, let's move on to the topic I posed to the group this week. I totally stole this from somewhere else. I don't remember where. We might have actually done something similar to this. I'm not sure. I don't feel like looking. But the question I posed to the group was, if you had to take a TV only fan and convert them to indie wrestling, what 3 wrestlers would you give them to check out? I will go first.
Hold up. Is your question indie wrestlers only, did you say?
Yes.
Okay. So if I had to convert a fan to indie wrestling, what three wrestlers would I have them check out?
Yes.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Okay. We'll save you for last.
I'm not on your list, Doc. I'll be kind of salty.
Like,
These
here's
songs.
the thing. There's a spot on my list that's more of a category, and you do fit that category.
Okay, I'll take it.
So you can be. So yeah, we'll start. Number 1, Gunnar Wicks.
Number 2, Gunnar Wicks.
Wicks.
I think a lot of TV fans and people who tend to watch TV wrestling a lot have been, I don't want to say indoctrined, but are used to more of an old school look when it comes to wrestling. I think Gunnar is that big kind of body guy monster that people are used to. So I think him on an indie setting where he has the ability to do a lot more, and he's pretty agile and can do some fun things when he has, good bases for head scissors. I think would be something fun for a lot of people to see just how athletes in wrestling have evolved, such just in the same way that athletes in other sports have. So,
is this a real answer?
Yes,
you
this
really
is a real
choose
answer.
me
Like,
on
this
your
one was a
list?
category. You fit that category. Now that I thought about it for 30
I'm
seconds.
flattered.
Yeah, so,
much better than the guy who completely dissed me when I gave him my flyer. Thank you. I needed to lift me up after that.
No problem. Yeah. It's like, you fixed your stupid arms. You're like 1,000 times better wrestler now.
They'll only get better from here.
Yeah. Number 2 would have to be Danhausen.
I love Dan Hausen.
Yeah, I think as far as characters go in indie wrestling, it's hard to find somebody that's funner.
Yep, top tier.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. With Danhausen, and just if you've watched the transformation over the years and how he, found this and just really committed to it, and he is solid in the ring. He's a good wrestler too, but his character work, I think, speaks for itself. And number 3 is gonna have to be Jonathan Gresham. The type of wrestling I loved when I was a kid would have been Jonathan Gresham. Jonathan Gresham probably would have been my favorite wrestler when I was younger. I loved the actual wrestling. I was never a big like Stone Cold or Rock fan. I liked RVD. I liked Chris Benoit. I liked Dean Malenko. I liked the guys who could put it down in the ring. I liked Bret Hart. So I think for me, it would have to be Jonathan Gresham to show that side of wrestling. Zach, let's go with you, brother.
Yeah, so I think I thought this one was gonna be your answer, but I'm gonna steal it. Probably you didn't do it because it's obvious, but Suzuki. I think like guys who don't really know that New Japan and like Suzuki's now coming over and like working a lot of guys on these independent promotions. Like I know he had a really great match with Daniel Garcia and stuff like that. Just Suzuki, his look alone is an attraction. You could tell he's an older guy, but like he's not one of those old guys. It's like, oh, it's an old dude in the match. Like he looks like a legitimate badass. He presents himself as a legitimate badass.
And can hang with the younger kids.
Hang with the younger guys, and no matter the size, like him versus Keith Lee, you still felt like Keith Lee was the underdog. Like he doesn't like seem like an underdog. So I would Suzuki would definitely be a guy. I'd be like, hey, you gotta check this guy out. I'm gonna go with Lee Moriarty. Just everything about him, his swagger, everything is just on point. He's very technical. I like how he's like everything he does is smooth and like it looks like he's always has a purpose for what he's doing. Everything's precise, everything's technical. I'm a fan of cool gear. He has cool gear. I like his masks. Everything matches. Just everything about him. Even his song. His like when.
I was about to say if you didn't say it, his entrance cannot be put over enough. He might. He might. Oh no! Oh God, that was my other pick that I took for Gunner, but it's fine. But yeah, guys on the indies who have like really good entrances, I think he's one of the top guys.
Oh yeah, it's just phenomenal. And then I know everyone wants to see a display of athleticism to have their mind blown in wrestling. So there's no one better right now, in my opinion, than Dante Martin for that. Dante just does unbelievable things. A year ago, Airwolf said he was going to be the top high. Airwolf, like when before Dante was even discovered, posted would always post about him saying this guy's going to be the top high flyer in the world. And I think Dante has proven why that statement is true. Everything he does is just phenomenal. I liked how he like built up to it. Like he didn't give it all at once. Like it started off with AEW just at Dark and Elevation by a simple mid ring where he's jumping and not even having to split his legs in the air just to show everyone he can jump and be full elevated up in the air. Just Dante's amazing.
Yeah, and it's crazy when you think, because I mean we've been on shows with him. We know he has so much more.
Yeah.
Like we know he's holding back, and that's a ridiculous thought.
Yeah, it's scary to think like what he's capable of. I mean, my first time seeing Dante alive was at Mondo Lucha. It was him and Airwolf. I want to say I don't know who they were working. I want to say it was Castro and Ruff or someone. I'm not sure. But Dante climbed all the way up. They had like, you know what I'm talking about, where you debuted, Doc. They had those like pegs up in the air.
Yeah, it wasn't Castro because Castro was with me.
I thought that night you were with Paulie and Craig.
Oh, was that night? Oh, that might have been that night.
Same
yeah,
venue.
maybe he worked. That might have been Castro and Dis then.
Yeah, but like he climbed all the way up the wall, and there was like this like wooden board you could kind of hang off of, and just from the board all the way to the ring just flew, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, that kid's been good for a long time, and I love that he's getting a chance to shine.
Those are my three.
Perch.
Yeah, really good question. Something that I try to be conscious of all the time is someone who isn't, familiar with wrestling and how they may view wrestling, or what's a good intro for someone, or, for a casual fan, as to not bombard them with something. What could be a couple wrestlers or, luchadors that someone may connect with, that you may show as an intro. And there are a few guys that came to mind. First would be Fred Yahai, Savage White, just a very good all-around wrestler. He brings it every time. Right now, he's the AAW champion, and I've seen him in absolute wars. And Fred Yahai kind of harkens back to a wrestler that could be fighting in any age. If it's a fan who used to watch wrestling, a guy like Fred Yahai can fit into any style, any range, any decade, and he'd be just as ruthless. That kind of goes with that grappling sense, like a Jonathan Gresham that you mentioned, Dre. The guy's put together and can wrestle with anyone. And I've also seen him in battles with guys like Mance Warner, where it's all out busted glass and crazy fights. So whether it's a brawl or a wrestling match, I think Fred Yahai really brings it, and in good intensity.
I just want to take a second to put over a thing about Fred Yahai. There are some clips that I saw from him versus Myron Reed at Glory Pro. That match looks fire. I definitely want to check that out at some point. saw something I'm definitely going to steal. So if you were to tell him next time you see him, or on the off chance he listens to this podcast for some reason, I'm stealing something from you from that match, Fred. Sorry.
Oh, that's great. I've certainly learned a lot from it myself, so it's cool that you're taking things as well. We can all learn.
No, I've studied him before for some things, and I definitely say he's helped influence my attitude over like the last year. As far as I mean, just like how he is with grappling, I try to be that with strikes. So
Sure.
I took a lot of that intensity from him, and I definitely saw something in that match that I will be stealing because I've been trying to figure it out, and this seems like a better way to do it. So I'm going to do it this way.
Another one who I would definitely want to show people, and it's cool to think of right now because it really is in that spot. Thomas Shire from Texas. Now there's a guy I've worked with on AAW as well. Just raw talent. The guy's big. He's agile. He knows how to grapple. He knows, again, can brawl any style. Trained by Dory Funk. So he's got good old school mentality with monster presence in the ring. Almost like was watching it with some guys in the back and mentioning that he had looked like a young Andre the Giant to some extent. Presence inside the ring and the way he was moving and working. It's really a sight to see. Thomas Shire, if you haven't seen, definitely worth checking out.
Yep, he's been doing it for a while. I know he works St. Louis Anarchy sometimes, so if you want to check him out, that's a place you can.
And can't wait to see more in the future. And another gentleman who I would put as I would want people to see is a luchador by the name of Arez, A-R-E-Z, Arez Strange. Very, very innovative. He transforms his body into a pure luchador and bends it in certain ways that I couldn't even imagine. The way he uses his body and uses his ability to fly, mixed with a little bit of craziness or a little that Strange is real because he thinks of situations and scenarios that
he's got such a different mind for fucking wrestling.
Out of this world.
He's somebody that I want to steal from, but everything he does is so unique, you would know I stole it from him.
Yeah, it's just he put such a good spin on everything, and understanding his matches, coming out of the matches, I like to try and pick his brain a little bit, and kind of see what goes into just what he's thinking. So it's a very cool dynamic, and another person I've been able to learn a lot from. But just as importantly, the work he puts inside that ring can catch the eyes of anybody. Someone watching him for the first time is bound to be blown away by something.
I would say he's like the way Ricochet was looked at a few years ago when he was on the Indies. Like Arez is probably the next one to just be like, how do you do this?
Yeah, I've been able to see his work a lot, working at Galley Lucha, and there was a show we did, and the ropes were very loose. It was an outdoor show, and loose ropes probably had about 7 or 8 matches go on throughout the day, and this is match number 9. and it's a trios tag match. And I mean, these ropes were like garden hoses before the show. At one point, all the guys are outside the ring, and Artez goes up for from inside the ring, and he jumps up onto the ropes, just kind of walks up onto the second rope and turns himself. So his back is facing outside the ring, but he just walks up effortlessly and pauses on that top rope and bends his knees and jumps so high up into the air into a backflip, and just nailed it, drilled it on. It's like walking on water. You can let anyone else try and do something like that.
I know the vets be mad at Bruce City when I tighten the ropes because I like those things super tight. Like, I am not walking on water. I need a freaking like brick fence. Like when I tighten the ropes, those things are tight. I know they are. I'm sorry, but
oh yeah, we go to shows and we tight enough for you. If not, let's go.
I do it. Yeah, I do it at shows we're first time on. Yeah, I'll tighten the ropes. I am not too proud. I don't care.
Yeah, and it just goes to show some of the things where it's for a guy like Artez, just effortless. Someone I would definitely recommend to anyone to check out and watch.
Show. Gunner, have you had enough time to think about some people?
I have.
All right, what you got?
I'm gonna steal your answer of a Dan Hausen.
Nothing
just
wrong
because I myself am a huge Danhausen fan. I think he's hilarious. I think he's been kind of like breaking into some mainstream stuff without being in a mainstream wrestling company, which is rare. So yeah, I think he appeals to maybe people who don't watch indie wrestling. So definitely him. I'm also going to go with Jake something, just because for one, I've been in the ring with him and know what he can do. And two, he is a guy that looks like a wrestler. He looks like a badass because he is a badass. And he's a powerhouse and can also be athletic and agile when he has to be. And can do some cool non-big man things too. So I think he's pretty entertaining to watch. I watched a lot of his matches before I faced him, just so I knew what I was getting into. And yeah, he was entertaining to watch. And number 3 would be Dysfunction. For this reason, because my parents never really watched, well, they didn't watch any indie wrestling at all until they started watching me. And they became fans of Dysfunction. And if he can take my parents, who were never fans of wrestling, and entertain them, I think he could do it for just about anybody. So I think Dysfunction is a good third choice.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, no, if you've seen it happen, the proof is in the pudding.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, we might have done this one before, but I think this is a good one to do every once in a while because I bet our answers will change over time because wrestling should evolve like anything else. All right, now officially, since me and Zach gave a preview, let's get into what we are doing this week. Why don't we start with Perch?
Yeah, this weekend marks the big Warrior Wrestling Sweet 16 show. We'll be down in Chicago Heights. It's going to be a wild show. Good matchups all around. Mentioned Tankman going up against Joshua Alexander. Can't wait to see how that one ends up. Artemis will be putting on the championship title on the line. It'd be cool to see what happens in that match against Gringo Loco and Ray Horace. I don't know if it's going to be multiple falls. I don't know what it's going to be.
I mean,
it's just
I
good
feel like
matchups
if it's
all
the
around.
Lucha title, it should be defended under traditional Lucha rules, which is best 2 out of 3. So
I'm all for it. I love the 2 out of 3 or just good storytelling matches or multi-man. Just give me the best circumstances we can find. And I love it. So yeah, Saturday, that'll be on Fight TV, Warrior Wrestling. And then we're going to stay in Chicago for Sunday, Galley Lucha, which will be on Facebook Live as it normally is. And should be a lot of cool people in the house for that show as well. So really looking forward to it.
Just want to shout out Galley for a second. Go ahead and check out this past Sunday's episode. You might see the return of somebody that you know kind of well.
Holy smokes, did that catch me by surprise?
So
that was a moment.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a real moment. Again, going back to having, a weekend like last weekend, Crusher Fest, that day where we're seeing people that we've trained with from day one, people we've, been in the ring with, learning from and wrestling with, and even have that show on Sunday to have a couple of brothers that have been there since day one with us. Very cool. Very cool.
Yep, for sure. Gunner, what you got?
This Friday we have Fourth Wall Wrestling. I'll be going against Chucky Bates for the 50,000th time. Looking forward to that one, I suppose. He's gonna have the Preacher of Pain helping him out here as a manager, so that'll be another factor I'll have to keep in mind as I whip his ass, make sure he doesn't get involved in any which way.
Hey, I've wrestled Chucky 50,000 times too. Some people you're married to.
Yep, sometimes as tag partners and sometimes against each other. But yeah, it's like a turd that you poop in the toilet and you just flush them and it just comes back up all the time. Hold the handle down, get the strong flush. Still sometimes just makes it way back through the pipes, just floats back up there. A lovable turd, but a turd nonetheless. Saturday is BCW BCW Battles and Burritos 2 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I forgot what it is.
I should know the title, but yep. And anywho, that'll be at oh dude, I'm sucking at this one. Some taco place.
The Wrestling Taco.
I don't know the name of
the Wrestling Taco. That I do know.
Yes, the Wrestling Taco. Yeah, that'll be Saturday, I believe, at 5 p.m. Taco eating contest before the show, followed by some awesome BCW wrestling action. And then
Body Slams and Burritos 2.
That is
starts at 6.
Dude, I think I should just be done at this
point.
Wait,
No, you were right. The bell time is 5. It's just wrong on the event.
Oh, all right. All right, I don't feel quite as bad then. So yeah, that's going on Saturday. And I don't think I have anything Sunday. So yeah, just those two. Saturday, I have no idea who I'm gonna wrestle, but I'll find out probably shortly before you guys find out if you're at the show.
No, we will not be at the show. I gave a preview of what we're doing Friday. Zach, why don't you tell them what we're doing Saturday? Because we won't be at Body Slams and Burritos 2 at the Wrestling Taco.
Yeah, for those who need a quick recap, Friday, Freaky Friday, as Mario would say, 6-man tag, out of town shooters, and Mel whooping up on Dis, Val, and Ruff. And then we go on to Nashville, Tennessee, where we wrestle for Coastal Championship Wrestling in a tag match. We're really looking we get to work TSF, they're QT Marshall students of the factory. They've been getting around, and they're about to get in the way of the out-of-town shooters.
which is a bad move, fellas.
Going to Nashville for Nashville chicken and kick someone's ass, and you better hope it's chicken.
Yep. It should be fun. Excited for the food. Excited to see the homie Josh, who we're crashing with. So it should be a fun one. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some clips from Josh of the weekend and add that into next week's episode. We'll see.
Yes.
All right. Now, Gunner, it's been a while since you've been here. I'd be very surprised if you have a question for the group.
You better.
You would be surprised
I would be surprised.
if I did have a question.
Yes, if you did have a question.
What if I did not have a question?
I would be very whelmed.
Well,
Super whelmed? Super whelmed might be the word I'm looking for.
underwhelmed,
No, super whelmed.
super whelmed. Well, prepare to be super whelmed.
Sounds better that way too, so I'm pretty sure that's the word.
Yeah, no, unless if you guys have something, or if I magically think of something off the top of my head here quick, no, I do not have a question.
All right, Zach, any final thoughts?
If you guys were to guess Gunner to have a question, what episode do you think you'll have it ready by?
What episode do I think he'll have it ready by?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think he'll have his first question back ready by the 69th episode.
69th episode. I'll say better than that. I'm gonna say by the 46th.
What number are we on now?
It's either 43 or 44.
Okay.
This is 44. Let me go 48. Let me change my answer to 48.
You're giving me a month.
Perch, you got an answer?
No, but I got a question.
All right. Let's go with Perch's question.
So we're driving long period of time, and absolutely nothing to drink at all, like nothing. Mouths are dry. Would give anything just for a drink. And when you finally pull up to a spot and you can have any drink of choice. Now it has to be something you can find, say at a gas station or a convenience store or something. What is the one drink you are going with? One nice handheld, something in hand after not having drank anything for 10 hours. What drink are you going with? So thirst is definitely a factor in the question.
I'll go first. I'd probably go with I believe the flavor is like a blackberry something, but a body armor. It is my sport drink of choice. Normally I'd probably go like maybe water, just straight up a good cold water is a close second. If I haven't drank in a long time, especially if I like maybe just got done wrestling or something, need those electrolytes, I'm gonna go with body armor.
Not bad. It's a good size too. It's a good.
Yep.
You can definitely quench your thirst and have some left after, I imagine.
Big men need big bottles.
Full chug? You ever go a full chug on a body armor?
Maybe close
Take
as
one
I've got
down
to
and
like
one
a
shot?
half one, but no, never. I like the first half to do the job of the hydration. Just enjoy the flavor of the second half.
Almost like that Pop-Tart theory. Best thing about the first Pop-Tart is you have that second Pop-Tart on backup.
Exactly.
Good choice. I've only had it once, Gunner, and I don't think it agreed with it. A little bit of a kind of acid reflexy kind of thing, but definitely it was good. It was like a pomegranate one.
Yep.
Wasn't bad.
Good flavor.
Wasn't bad. Good taste.
Okay. I feel like I've said this before, but mine would probably be a mango vitamin water. That is my flavor of choice. And same thing as Gunner. I need those vitamins and electrolytes back in my body if we're going to a show or coming from a show. I don't always eat the best, so I need the boost wherever I can.
Preach.
Mango being the yellow one or the slightly kind of pinkish one?
The slightly kind of pinkish one.
With the white and green logo kind of to it?
White and
the
green.
wrapper?
Yep, white and green label.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Vitamin water. Right when it first came out, maybe it's been around for 100 years, but at least when I first saw it, was it 10 years ago or so? Just fell in love with it. Big water fan, and vitamin water in particular. That blue one that came out was good. The pink one, the dragon fruit. Formula 50 came out, and that blew my mind. Yep. He had a little logo on the inside wrapper with that too. So it's like my favorite drink turned into even cooler of a favorite drink at that. I've since cut down on the vitamin waters, but
50, the business genius. Who would have thought?
Mad respect for vitamin water. It got me through better part of a decade. So mango is the one of choice.
Mango.
Has it always been?
Mango or the triple X Acai one.
Oh yeah, the darker one, red.
Darker reddish purple or whatever. Yep, that's that used to be the number one till the mango came out.
Ooh, if I were to crack one of those triple X's open right now and take a big gulp, a gunner size gulp, and like the body armor just chug, it would bring me back to nostalgic, feelings from 10 years ago. A lot of California days.
I think what body armor has up is the bottle design, because the bigger version of the vitamin water bottle just isn't like great to hold. If that makes sense. Like it's just not comfortable.
The bottle ergonomics not quite there.
Yeah.
Not quite slim waisted like the body armor.
Yeah, I feel like the body armor fits better in your hand.
Yeah.
So that's the one downfall of that I'd have to get, the either medium to smaller size.
Great mouth though. I like the regular vitamin waters. Great mouth, good cap.
Yeah. Good cap, good mouth size. Love it. What you got, Zach?
Mine is not healthy. It's not going to be like you guys. If I'm dying of thirst and I go to a gas station now, if I'm lucky, they have a bottled 20-ounce Baja Blast Mountain Dew. I will be very grateful. It's my kryptonite. I love that. If not, my second choice, the alternative, doesn't go any healthier, just goes cheaper, with a 99-cent fountain drink, Pepsi product preferably, Mountain Dew or Pepsi to be exact, but nice fountain drink, get a nice fill it up with ice, get nice and cold, sip on that in the car ride home, and I'm a happy boy.
Fountain drinks are up there, man.
I used to hate fountain drinks, but now they're like my go. I love fountain drinks now.
No, I went through a huge fountain drink phase. Went through a huge one.
My fountain, it doesn't stop. My face is just there, nonstop.
I haven't had a soda in probably over a decade.
Cool.
Growing up, definitely loved them. Mountain Dew was a favorite. Cola was I couldn't. If I drank a Pepsi, my brother loved it. My eyes would water right away, like too crisp or something to it. Just bam, eyes start watering.
I know what
not
you
like
mean.
crying,
The
busy.
bite of it. Yes.
The bite of it.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like
kick my ass.
my mom could write poetry on the spiciness of cola. She is a big cola fan.
Yeah.
She loves the spiciness of it. Pepsi does not have enough for her.
No, okay, so a red Coke can would have a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Because that one hit me in the face too. And RC Cola, any kind of like a
that
cola,
probably opened up your sinuses.
It did. It really did. People would be like, "What are you crying?" No, like just fucking blasted me in the face. Yeah, in the nose.
Perch
too.
has never had a Coke and a
the
smile.
Yeah, only a handful of times because I did not push that button too far. But white sodas were all right, or like a lemon lime
clear.
soda.
Yeah.
Frescas were cool towards the end of my soda drinking days. Big Fresca fan.
Yeah. Fresca is weak. I'm not. I like a good amount of bite. I'm a big root beer fan. Love me a good.
Me too. Me too.
Yep.
Root beer is the best. And I mentioned, thirst is a factor in this question. Root beer was always the best thirst quencher of a soda. Like if back in the day, like if you needed to quench that thirst, a Dr. Pepper or a root beer or a Mr. Pibb. Like I don't know what was in it, but thirst quenching.
No, I feel you. In like middle school, like the homie's house that we would hang out at, his was the type where they had the fridge in the garage filled with sodas. And there was always a case of A&W root beer, and I loved that family for it so much. Playing football in his yard, go in, grab a root beer, go downstairs, play video games, come back up, grab a root beer. It was great. Best times ever.
Oh, that's great. Good living. So the old fountain drink. Oh, good choice. I would go myself, if I were to go any drink possible, have to grab one. This one's in just about every place you can find it. The jumbo bottle of Aquafina, ice cold. It's a great bottle design. The smaller ones used to have that same bottle design, but now the small ones are that kind of slim waisted looking. But you go with the jumbo bottle of Aquafina with the blue cap to it. That's my favorite thirst quencher. You can chug that thing and still have some left.
Aquafina has solid bottle ergonomics, as we said. Yeah, theirs are solid. Weak in some sizes, but for the most part, solid.
Yeah, I won't even go. I will, but that smaller size bottle. Eek.
Yeah. Theirs, luckily, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what you want. You want the bigger ones to be better.
Yep. Give me that big jumbo bottle. If we're going to 7-Eleven, I'll look for the Liquid Death every time if it's there. The mountain water version, not the sparkling water. Big fan. Cold, fresh out of a can, tastes like fridge water. Good fridge water, filtered fridge water.
I have not had it yet. I am intrigued. It's one of those things on the list, but yeah, I guess I haven't been to a 7-Eleven in forever, so that's probably part of the problem.
It's just not many around here. Not many. Heading south of the border, I stop at the Sevens and check every time for the LDs.
There's the thing. There's a 7-Eleven near my house, but there's just so many other gas stations first on its way that it just never makes sense to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. So it'll happen.
Big quick trip guy myself. Big quick trip guy.
Yeah, I love the
Speedway
KT.
tends to be more where I'm headed. If I had my dream, Wawas would be everywhere. But sadly, God doesn't like me. So
I'm all for Wawas everywhere.
Yes. You know what? I think that's the perfect place to take it home because it is never going to be better than Wawa. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. One.
Yeah.